my Becca was saying, "Inko 4 way." Bawumia meet the press. No, they took money from the coffers. Ghana Fosika and the mamo. Ya calculate it's almost 3.2 million. Titi Ghana's cano almost 32 billion. And Adom-Otchere in Centrophobi. Aden so ma be shia Bawumia. Na yetia and MPP deny say, oh, they did not pay any day. And America Aboagye teams because oh, the democracy ye sa, but you from 20,000 from 5,000 to Ghana 50 million to Ghana no 200 million. And the Bawumia nyesika miti press keke money pa bako 50 million between 50 million old Ghana and 200 million.
My never answer my Pen Dream TV there or share them yopo
Bawumia meet the press. You catch them say journalist call you be 50,000 Ghana. You be 30,000 Ghana. 20,000. Happy birthday Nana Jantwa. Me say usika na woji and be bosso chire. Nana, happy birthday o na bibia boko de. But waje. Oko enkran no omo ma usika 30 beka. Would be your rent? Would it be in points? Nana beka Nana Jantwa woji. Now you're going to see how a party. Happy birthday Nana Jantwa Nana. If you want to see say party be a party omo kano kra. And yeah, one day in a statue which when you want hypocrisy in Ghana, it starts from the journalists. Some journalists in Ghana are hypocrites. Mr. P, Mr. S, get me that poster of Hebet Fable when we were talking about journalists who have taken appointment under Ekufuado. I think he's at Petroleum Commission. Get that guy's picture with that particular. If you can find it, just build a poster for me. Egbert Fable, that's his name, right? I think I got the first one wrong. Egbert Fable. Ope Ghana, Oma say Ghana, majority Oma contributed to the destruction of Ghana. A journalist be. Some of the journalists in Ghana, Oma say Ghana, and it didn't start with this group of journalists though. This group of journalists learned from the ones they came to meet in the system. Majority of the so-called old journalists, no, me, I don't know anything. Your friend is senior journalist. Stupid statement to me. There's nothing like senior journalist. What makes somebody senior journalist? Nothing makes somebody senior journalist. More system from old journalists, no. Hypocrisy, any chrono, any azan, any atrom, and no, some of these young ones they have learned and into more exhibit side and there. In terms of a whole political party, a vice president of a republic. Don't see Bawumia as just a mere flag bearer. He is still at the Jubilee House. He is the vice president of this country. Into every single thing that today Ebesi Bawumia Kampono, it affects the vice president's office because that his position is still intact. So don't see Bawumia as a flag bearer. See Bawumia as the vice president of the republic. That is why we still address him as vice president of the republic. Sanka Bawumia is not connected to the Jubilee House. Sanka Bawumia activities, Nejuma Oye, Nekasa Okano, if it wasn't connected to the Jubilee House, he wouldn't have been called vice president now. But as we speak, Bawumia is a vice president of this republic. Into Adibia Bawumia, you know, even though Oye the campaign or the campaign team, no, he is still drawing every single resource from the Jubilee House. Because as we sit here, Mahamudu Bawumia can't say he has raised this amount of money for his campaign. We never heard Bawumia a fundraiser. He raised this amount of money for his campaign. So it means every single money Bawumia is pumping into this campaign is coming from where he works. And where does he work? He works at the Jubilee House. And to do not write it off. Bawumia fundraiser. He raised sika when they ran the campaign. No. At least we saw the NDC, John Mahama, go to the Ashanti region, go to the Savannah region. We saw them raise funds. But also Bawumia campaign, have you heard say, I'm going to receive fund, $2, $3, 20 Ghana? No. Every single money is coming from the presidency. Every single money is coming from this government. And do not isolate Bawumia from the seat of government. In the Sunday Bawumia press conference, meeting the presser, every single thing he says, he said it as a flag bearer / the vice president. And also every single money Abu say Bawumia campaign, because as far as I know, Bawumia fundraiser bien raises say and no free the campaign, it's coming from the Jubilee House, because we know Bawumia does one job. He owns the campaign. So every single money that comes into the campaign comes from Bawumia. The same way at NDC, because they want people to see the transparency in the party, they started raising funds so that people will know that the monies they are using in their campaign, it is coming from where? It is coming from the funds they raised. But as far as we know, NPP Bawumia and raising funds, so every money is coming from Bawumia. Now, on some boy we Miracle Aboagye omode journalist free the whole of Ghana. Adom-Otchere in crime. And Ebusa almost said they have paid journalists money, some of them. And I'm saying, no, we never paid any media house. 20,000, highest was 5,000. Inti almost started almost someone to later, and a boy we are Miracle Aboagye or no any Kasama former Bawumia campaign. It says, Mr. P. Oh, you have all of that. Guys, thank you. I wasn't expecting all, but I'm going to use all. Thank you. Now, so tell me, Becca Chira must say, in way, Bawumia meet the person. They took money from the coffers, Ghana Fosika and the Mamo. Ya calculate it's almost 3.2 million. Titi Ghana's Gano almost 32 billion. And Adom-Otchere in Xp0ses. Aden so mabishia Bawumia. Na yetia and MPP deny say, oh, they did not pay any day. And Miracle Aboagye TV because oh, the democracy ye but you from 20,000 from 5,000 to Ghana 50 million to Ghana no 200 million. And the Bawumia yesika miti press keke money pa bako 50 million between 50 million old Ghana and 200 million. Ya de ma journalist ya cra journalist abetan crying. Napko fosika yentua ye. Ya cra journalist the plane a form. Ya the plane a form over the hotel. Ye fidi omo. Emma omo kono. Ya sa omo tete Ghana scan 50 million and not 200 million. Miracle Aboagye odi Bawumia campaign him say the tia ye no. Really? In this uko wedim na o check it. Omo campaign no. Bawumia media encounter. I received 10,000, not 20,000 journalists. In Xp0ses etumi akachire news outlets be say oh sikane de ye receive bi na ye receive ni nyina ye mu bi de ye nya 100 million tie we nya sama ye didi agro de sesre o journalist ni bi say ye de ye mu bi ni ye nya 100 million e bi say oh samoka say ye nya 400 million dia moboa na ye mu bi ni de ye nya 100 million inti mamon ka say ye nya 200 million. This is the NPP government under Bawumia. Almost omunya 100 million. Meme yen kase omunya de omunya 200 million. Now that is one. Let's slow down. Me becho ade. Oh guys, I'm lining up the pictures and yes ade weda. And it's important here bekai Ghana for why we are here today because some of the journalists in Ghana they are criminals. They are liars. Omano enomode ase Ghana no omano enomode Bawumia eni Akufo-Addo bae because mumudo do no you were not listening to the truth. Enu ntina ende yaba bedru hande Ghana sika sama ase ni nyina. It is because we allowed some of these journalists to lie to us. We were not asking questions because ya more room no. Now shade be see I want to show you something. Wait, every Paul Adom-Otchere, right? And the Paul Adom-Otchere agent TV so say oh journalist near mo musika no enye problem bia na the journalist eja ho Sunday we jana yire ho eja ne ba ho aba be di Bawumia abetie Bawumia press conference na yetam 200 million ma journalist yetam 50 million ma journalist Paul Adom-Otchere gina TV so catch Ghana for say what is the big deal muntie Paul Adom-Otchere o say oh journalist no kra no Sunday na omoni omo yire nem nete omoni omo girlfriends de ho e na Bawumia from so omo into omo job obusu ho no na yatam 200 million ama journalist over 250. We are talking about 30 billion old Ghana yatam amomo Bawumia na de sa sika ne ma omo and yenya journalist or Ghana agent TV so catch say it is not a big deal.
Presidential candidates for the NPP and they say that journalists when the journalists were paid 20,000 that's corruption. Let's get to the story. So, this is what we wrote. Journalists don't have to be paid to attend Bawumia's press conference, but they need to be sufficiently compensated. Shouldn't they? And viewers, I ask you the question. Shouldn't they be sufficiently compensated? Yes, we understand that journalists are not to be paid. Their media houses pays them. The salaries for media houses. But they have to be compensated. I don't see the hula baloo about it. You are holding a press conference on a Sunday. The journalists who are married and have children, they are spending time with their family on a Sunday. The journalists who are not married, they are spending time with their girlfriend and boyfriend on a Sunday. They are watching football on a Sunday. They'll come to work on Monday. You asked them to come to Kempinski on Sunday, and we all think that they shouldn't be compensated. Some of the journalists came from outside Accra. Those who are coming from outside Accra, they should buy their own bus tickets and plane tickets to come from Tamale to Accra to cover Bawumia's press conference. What kind of hypocrisy is this? I do not understand it. What kind of hypocrisy is this? And why are we following after people who are not leading us astray? People who are not demonstrating any capacity to produce thinking. Those who are not demonstrating, they are demonstrating actually zero capacity to produce any thinking. All they know is insults. And why are we following them on this tangent? What is the point? That Bawumia gave journalists money and so something must come down, all hell must break loose. He's calling a press conference on a Sunday. He's inviting the journalists to come. It will be irresponsible of the Bawumia campaign to invite journalists to come from all over the country to come and sit at the moving pic, listen to him, produce the stories out of it, and compensate them for nothing. It will be irresponsible. It will be the height of irresponsibility on the Bawumia campaign. So as we say, journalists don't have to be paid to attend Bawumia's press conference, but they need to be sufficiently compensated. Journalists don't have to be paid to attend Bawumia's press conference, but they need to be sufficiently compensated. Shouldn't they? What's wrong with this? And that's the point I was making. Sammy Jenfi should come and tell me that when the journalists came to John Mohammed's press conference, he didn't pay them anything. He didn't compensate them for anything. If he didn't, he's a very wicked man. And he's an irresponsible director of communication for a former president. That you call
this is foolishness. Afewati, these are the journalists you people are listening to. Did any journalist come out to tell you, say, NDC press conference, and John Mohammed meet the press? Did any journalist come to say, Yamana one city? You see, these are the people I talk about. Paul Obewu and Chebi Obewu. Paul go die. He is a walking lie. Today, payment has become compensation. You see what I keep telling you? These people, muna mama mo chance. Baby. You see, suddenly, a whole government in power, a vice president, because as far as I know, Bawumia didn't have any fundraiser to tell me this money is coming from here. Atam, almost 30 billion old Ghana. Ediama journalist, 500 million, 400 million, 100 million. Ediama journalist, because also a press conference Sunday. Ain't I was all tam abain sika. Not journalist, so Paul is a journalist. Or Bejina TV say it's compensation. Now you see this man. Your friend Xp0ses. These people Adom-Otchere NDC, any Adom-Otchere mo. Xp0ses, time Adom-Otchere president, Mahama Bear president, he was a very vocal person. Na occupy Ghana. Or a journalist. Where from senior journalists, they know nothing. They are criminals who you people refuse to interrogate, to assess. These are chain smokers who took advantage of majority of you guys, your ignorance, those times. And then what they did was they fed you people with lies. The hatred which was in them. They made it a point to say, ready say, so they will gang up and destroy that government. These are the people who called themselves journalists that almost destroy mo Ghana for it. Xp0ses, na on the publisher, Ghanaian Observer newspaper. Mokai. Ekufu about power and the share. The CEO of National Petroleum Commission and the Oko Petroleum Commissioner. A journalist who was on the sideline saying politicians then, the politicians he hated in the NDC government, in the Adom-Otchere government, in the Mahama government, they are bad. We need to be the watchmen. We need to be the third eye. Make sure we speak for the people. Ekufu about power and the Petroleum Commissioner. But do you know one thing? When John Mahama was in power, they organized GJA Awards. And I think there was a press conference at the Jubilee House or the Flagstaff House, they used to call it. And I don't know, I think some journalists were, as Paul Adom-Otchere would say, compensated for coming to the event. these people, led by Egbert Fable, Kwame Sifakain, Kweku Bako, they went to sit on Joy News. Xp0ses. Your friend, Samson Ayenini, he was the moderator. They sat on News File and made the world believe, say, what the NDC government, under their government, journalists, Flagstaff House, press conference, Emma, Paul Adom-Otchere will say they have been compensated. They made it look like, say, the NDC government, John Mahama, or a Kronfo will be. In fact, the real story, it wasn't even about anybody paying, it was people going to an event. Now, Muntie the submission on News File about time John Mahama president. Almost say journalists be echo enfa Flagstaff House. Muntie
organizes DJ Awards. So at the end of every journalism year, I mean, journalists who have excelled are appreciated, so to speak. So I think that what happened, using what happened at the Flagstaff House as a dashboard,
which is not new. It's been going on from time immemorial.
It is not new, but you see, I think that it stinks. It stinks. And I don't see how anybody will look the average Ghanaian in the face, eyeball to eyeball, and seek to rationalize what happened. I fundamentally have been a journalist for some time, and I want to say that, look, it's our time we sought a clear distinction between, the solely, as we know, like a journalist, a young rookie reporter comes on assignment and is, going away. You look at him or her and say, look, take 20 Ghana cedis for transportation. Take maybe 50 Ghana cedis for transportation. Those ones, I think that we need to compartmentalize them and let people understand that you cannot really, describe as something to influence the journalists.
Are you a member of Occupy Ghana?
Yes, I am a member of Occupy Ghana. Now, moving from there, even when you come to the corporate world, there are brands. And these brands always want visibility in the media. So they even prepare their own, advertorials and give it to a journalist or a media house to roll out as if it is an independently researched thing. We call it PR. But when you are in government, you ought to be careful. You ought to be careful. You see, when a journalist takes money from the corporate world to push a brand, and I don't want to mention any brand because of all kinds of whatever that we have, you can look at it and blink an eye. But when it comes from the seat of government, who were called? They say senior editors, senior journalists. These are the gatekeepers. If it was a rookie journalist, some young journalist who was called and was given that amount, I would have looked at it in a different light. But these are gatekeepers. They sieve the information and decide what ought to be given to the reading public. And as far as I'm concerned, when you have a gatekeeper in your pocket, then the reading, consuming, or watching, consuming public is dead. Now, just a few weeks or months after that, we also see Julius Zebra also caught in the same vortex. What is it at the presidency that is making the sharing of money a way of life?
So I take it that you endorse Occupy Ghana's statement that is saying that the president should publicly denounce this and ask the Flagstaff House and government department ministries to stop giving such things forthwith.
The presidency is a place where policy is taught through and supervised and compliance ensured. All of a sudden, we are seeing the presidency being, if you like, a microfinance.
And he should at least reprimand the chief of staff for this?
Reprimand is even a small.
I see. That's very interesting.
So you see, this is what they did. They were saying, say, a press conference was held at the Flagstaff House during Mahama's time. And these radio hosts, from journalists, they were like, the president should take responsibility that some journalists came to the Jubilee House and were given transportation back. Now today, Samson Ayenini, Kweku Bako, Egbert Fable, who is now the CEO of Ghana Petroleum Commission, Ask them the same question. That is why you see a fool like Paul stand on TV to say that today there's no problem with it. But when John Mahama was president, these people had serious issues. You see, when John Mahama was president, they were even saying because journalists came to the Jubilee Flagstaff House and were given compensation, transport, it's a crime. It should never happen. Do you know when Bawumia met the press, Samson Ayenini was there? Ask him, did he take money? Samson Ayenini went to Bawumia's event as a press man on the Friend of Press. Let us ask Samson Ayenini, who was the host of this particular episode, that did he take money? And how different is this money from that one they were discussing when John Mahama was president? When we are dangerous. Samson Ayenini took 50,000 Ghana when he went to the event because they gave him that handbag with a manifesto and a white envelope in it. That is how much Samson Ayenini took. 500 million old Ghana cedis. So tomorrow or Saturday when he sits on Newsfile, ask him, you were the same person discussing this issue on Newsfile. How do you see it today? It was wrong yesterday. Is it right today? You were there the day they had the event. How much did you take? Samson took 500 million old Ghana. 50,000. Debia Mekachira say, these are dangerous people. Hey? MPP bar power. All the journalists who were on radio, John Mahama and Tamils, they were not doing it because it was factual. They were doing it because they were all MPP. They wanted the NDC government out. NDC going out of power, it wasn't their fault. Whatever they did, the press that was supposed to push the government, the good works of the government, it was deliberate. They decided not to do it. It is hatred. It was tribalism mixed with foolishness. So it was an agenda. And sometimes we was I didn't Ghana for the NDC. It wasn't NDC's fault totally. It was some journalists who had hijacked most of the media houses, and then they decided to destroy whatever this country was building. From 2010 all the way to 26, they decided to destroy it. Because the idea was that we wanted the NPP to come in and then we will make money. That is why Xp0ses today is the CEO of Ghana Petroleum Authority, a commission. Ghana Petroleum Commission. Xp0ses was sitting on TV screaming and saying he's a news reporter and he has not seen some before. Today he's an appointee of Ekufuado. Now let's go back. How the NPP, how they hijacked the system. Do not trust anybody sitting behind the mic and tell you me a journalist, me a radio host. You need to listen to the facts. The majority of them are crazy people. They are liars. They use you people to make money. From Atamil's time, Ebesi Mahama time, most of these journalists, normal life are ended. No be any 1,000 Ghana than accounting. I'm telling you. Yeah. Xp0ses, Kwame Sefakai, Kwekuba Akumani, Paul, they didn't have a dime. They saw that they were growing, they were dying. They needed an opportunity to also make money for themselves and their girlfriends and their wives and then their family. So they had to make sure the NDC government to get out of power. And until today, Paul Adom-Otchere is the board chair of the Ghana airport, Kotoka. It is not just by mere chance. That is the work they did. They are not gatekeepers. They are the miners. They are not gatekeepers. These people are not gatekeepers. They are the pure political miners. They allow the politicians to stay top. No more wura form. Political galamseyes. They are down there digging. Then Ekufuado will be up there thinking everything is rosary. They are the ones digging. These are the political galamseyes. Now here Ekufuado about power. See all these journalists, the positions they have been given, and we have done this so many times. And the best this Kojo Oponkroma not in Joy News. Kojo Oponkroma used to be a broadcast journalist. Joy News, multimedia. Debut to her. He has a problem with the government. Why is the NDC not doing this right? Why is the NDC not doing right? MPP bar power and the Wabe minister, because the agenda was that I can for. Let's find a way to stop this NDC. It does not matter when they build a chip compounds. So Musi Commander Sugar Factory, when they build KJTR, when they build airport, when they build chip compounds, when they build universities, when they build e-blocks, when they build water for Mampong people around the nation, when they construct road, when they do interchanges, let us find a way and let the people think say NDC in your papa. So these are the people who sat on radio and they manipulated your minds. Now look at this person. These people are all around. Ask them what's going on. Now, who is this person? This is Kofi Asare Brako. Or no, not our infant. He used to work at the Peace Multimedia Asempa, MPP Bar Power, and the clinical PRO Sports Ministry. I don't know whether he's still there. I'm radio, so now I'm the sports, politics. Hey, yeah, but African Cup Nation, like a doom. Hey, as somewhere they been see that. I buy Fumbeni, yes. And almost not asempa. The whole thing is directed at the Yako World Cup. And the Monkoshe, yes, Black Star, yes, yeah, Tom Sike Free Ghana. I bet you Black Star almost salaries. The almost pay them. Yeti Kromha. Yeah, the $245 million. $245 million. I organize it, all African games. Yeni Park or Ghana. You bet to also. Yakoto data over 5.2 million. Opening ceremony almost $6 million. GBC $6 million. Yenya a bedi 2 year at the 15 days and you $15 million. These people are still with you. And you call these people journalists. These are the galamsayers. When I say they are foolish, I know sometimes we begin some time. Say Ghana. These are the people. Now see this person. Make sure next time you people need to be aggressive on them. Who is this person? This is Paul Adom-Otchere. And the Paul Adom-Otchere or DA, Paul Adom-Otchere is the board chair of DA of Ghana Kotoka International Airport. Ghana, your airport is so Ghana Air Kotoka. It is all about America. We have big airport. Uko California, Uko Dallas, Uko. But JFK is very famous because it is in New York. It is our time JFK, a journalist, a mere broadcast journalist in Simpson or manage JFK. A foolish man who tried to copy his colleagues' work. A foolish man who, at the end of the day, stands on TV with a condom stuck to his dick, pretending to be a Christian. This is what I'm talking about. Today, what makes you think this guy will come on TV and tell you about your economic situation? He won't, because he has been appointed, or he has been appointed by Akufo-Addo. He works for Akufo-Addo. Yeah, this guy, he sat in front of John Mahama for John Mahama to explain what he was doing, even with SADA. John Mahama, way back as a vice president, that was when he brought the idea that SADA should be implemented. And you know one funny thing? This fool Paul Adom-Otchere, Onunenim na John Mahama Chen why SADA and Onunenim na John Mahama ka say under my leadership as the vice president and started to be a friend of the transition. We didn't have anything called transition in Ghana's government. Abayin sisa na yenya a committee that takes care of the transition. John Mahama na de baye. Because he wanted the free flow of power. No, he did not want it to be chaotic. Into John Mahama, vice president, he introduced. It was through his effort as the vice president, and I be a friend of transition. Ya to abaye, ya beti committee, making sure you be a smooth transition. Gidi John Mahama. This was the guy who sat before John Mahama. And John Mahama church the nyoma we muchire kwasiawe. He has been wearing the Vietnam thing, not today. And where does he work? Under the board chair of the board chair of Ghana Kotoka International Airport. And if you think I'm lying, let's take a break. And I'm in shower there. This is John Mahama, 2011.
Vice President Mr. John Dramani Mahama has
and then 3 days.
And that's one of the things that we need to look at.
After the election, then came transition and then the nomination.
There was no transition.
There was
virtually.
Okay, because you had a 3rd January declaration and then 3 days.
And that's one of the things that we need to look at. We need to come up with a presidential transition bill, so that from the time that we have elections, if there's the need for a second round, we would still have enough time, for if government is passing over from one party to another, for the two parties to engage and go through a proper transition. We had a very disorganized transition in the year 2001, and we had another even more disorganized transition in the current transfer of power. And I think that is something that we need to deal with once and for all.
The president's nominations then came up, nominations for ministerial appointments, and that's where
these are the termites. John Mahama introduced the presidential transition bill. They be Ghana. We are no better na kofo free power, way free power na we aba. This is the fool who sat before John Mahama as a vice president in 2009, I think so. And Okachira will say, through my effort, I don't go for John Mahama. Time I know a vice president, John Mahama introduced SADA as vice president even before he became president. I John Mahama woma a yedien or woma a yesrim ne enye bi na nkwasiafo e Bawumia wono. He sat before John Mahama and he explained to him. And there are so many interviews that John Mahama made this guy understand. But today, this fool stands on TV and try to insult John Mahama. Why? Because they don't see you people as intelligent. So they stay in Accra, they wear some Vietnam suits, TV, na condom shane bema no, oba jantre ni biti studio ho, and ono bon agile. Because what Junior will say, or she suit into Nyansa, these are the dangerous people in our community and in our country. It is some of the journalists are dangerous. Don't sit here and say me time. It is what they have done. It is what they have done. Omano asem enrano and made they assess your mwende. Into somebody assess so now you're hypocrite. You don't think about Ghanaians. That is why they say we insult. No, we are using their own words. We are going back to bring back near the compende. That is why we see them today at Ghana for Hunu. Now, who is this? We are going to do this kakra Obia Abehu Kweku Sechi Ado. When John Mahama Atamils them were in power, Kweku 1-on-1, he will look through and he will bring somebody. Oh, this guy is an expert in energy. Let's talk about energy. What are you saying? Oh, the government should have done this. Now, also a news file, also a multimedia. Joy News, no, the agenda is to destroy NDCO. That is the Joy News. Multimedia, cocaine media, no. Oh, we are then go to NCA board, so ende Kweku Sechi Ado or Ekufuado appointee. So don't sit in Ghana and say, oh, these people are working for you. No. Majority of Omo radio, Omo TV, Sunday, some general, about 80%, they are not working for you. They are working for some people they feel, say, they are entitled to be their president. And literally today, they are all finding it difficult to speak because now, where is Kweku Sechi Ado? I thought Kweku 1-on-1 was one of the best shows. Why is he not still continuing it? Because today, when he starts to do that, and the position he has been given, he will be stripped off. Ekufuado about power, appointees. And Ekufuado deliberately picked journalists. The greedy ones that were working for him when he was in opposition. One of the most daft politicians in Ghana, Ekufuado. Ebi amwan mun steady. One day I'll do that for you. You have a politician wa bon pa Ekufuado. Ekufuado knows nothing. But we mun make Ekufuado be Ekufuado. These are the people when you tamaklo them scrampo eye kumi prekono and umkota Ekufuado be see another demonstration set in him and I'm saying the whole kumi prekono is about Ekufuado. Ekufuado, he does not have the brains to lead. Now, my mention, who is this? You bet you be send a bear kasa radio so I can say, as me see what that dame. Who is this person? This person is called Malik Dabu. Now, you Jumaway, multimedia. Now, you're head of political desk. Decided what to speak when the news item comes, which one to talk on, which one to speak on. Twist the story as an editor. Ekufuado about power. PRO, Ghana Maritime Authority. And the Onene Kasama former Ghana Maritime Authority. Busa say, are these not the gatekeepers? Today, the gatekeepers are rather sleeping in the house. And you, the citizenry, you have become the gatekeepers. The gatekeepers today are the masters. Now, are you beginning to understand? They are playing you people. Some few politicians, because they had an agenda. Sanko for me majority no over 45. Na nche no mabrabona ende omu nyina okay. They have been given positions. Akufo-Addo, that's how he has run your country for 8 years. And this coup Akufo-Addo did, from 2014 and 15, Akufo-Addo did this coup 2008 and not started here. So they infiltrated, and then they've got the ones who were tribal, who were greedy, and the ones who were basically for anything. They started using them. Egbert Fable, no, a member of Occupy Ghana. Is Ankuma Way? Where is Ankuma? Where is Ankuma? Is Ankuma Way? It's been a while you heard about Ankuma, right? Ask yourself why. What is going on? Why is Ankuma, who was so passionate about Ghana issues, Ghana politics, every Saturday sitting on news file? Jimmy. Where is Ankuma? Ankuma's wife works for the government. She takes over 700,000 Ghana a month. Where is Ankuma? Why should he come on TV? Ade na ombeka Ghana honsem ewo TV so. Ade akro no course na yire dwuma mbono. Na onu Ankuma deals are aban edeman because basically he is the one who fronts for government edien. Oba aban court cases a majority is Ankuma ne di enim. And what they do is, because there's an attorney general, anytime the attorney general wants to pay a private individual, no mu lose the case, no makofa Ankuma as the lawyer, the attorney general will lose the case. So they go back, they take the money from the government and they split it. They shop, they go judge shopping. 442 na mechira. Me say what I know. If I tell you everything, because hey, NSA Ghana there, MPP no, omankasa no, omo de ye akan drama. Me say, Sankuma, on it, there's a case at Whitechapel, the man who owned Whitechapel. They played him. Sankuma they represented the other party that was fighting the Whitechapel man. And Attorney General Sankuma said they should use the judge. At the end of the day, about 3 cases, Anan Ankuma, you know what they did? They will meet the Attorney General. They will discuss the matter. The Attorney General will not be interested in the case. So what will happen is that Sankuma automatically will win the case. Inti sikana se nipa ne pe judgment debt and as a compensation onya $200 million when they go, Attorney General takes 70%. The owner takes 70%. Sankuma any Attorney General split the 30. Into it was Sankuma is a good lawyer. Me see Sankuma Owen. So where is this guy? I thought he was the gatekeeper. He was going to fight for you, irrespective of the political party in power. No, they sit there and they fool you. Some of them. Now, no problem. Who is this guy? This guy is called Mark Okrekumante. Mamu remfisa anyoma wo you. Mese Musa Ayedi something ayenini Saturday morning that when he went to the Bawumia presser, how much did he take? He took 50,000 Ghana, 500 million old Ghana. Something ayenini. Now, Mark Okrekumante, media practitioners rewarded since 2017. Now, or a programs manager, Hits FM Multimedia. Now, on a deputy tourism minister. Mark Okrekumante, he cannot even express himself. But this is what these people did. They sat on radio. They are just radio reporters. So they are not journalists. Though. This guy has no knowledge about journalism. So they'll call them, oh, these people are on radio. Oh, they are speaking. No, they just speak on radio. I want to say, wow. Now, MPP about power na quick. And your man, the minister. Oh, the kwasi to nankofo we say media no. Everything the NDC did for Ghana, creative sector, na creative sector no. These people never appreciated it. Every day, Marco Krekuman to our problem. It was during Atamils Mahama time, especially Mahama time, and Akume would be Jinan and Aso. Gali would say, Jinan and Aso. It was during Mahama's time. Time and Amokas do Sabakrano, Kume would not Edahu Jinan and Aso, and Kwasiafu win a Tina TV so every Saturday. Things are not going well, and you know, and then your any movie industry, it is dead. Majority of them have become beggars. They have become comedians. They have become skits. We have just wasted talent because of people like these. Akufo-Addo about power, more women in our position. They all work for Akufo-Addo. So don't think, say, oh, they are working in your interest. Interest my fault. Thank you, Mr. S. Let me show them before I move forward. Messi Esankuma, where is Esankuma? Is Anan Ankuma? Omonomutumina TV. So Esankuma ne be occupy Ghana. Ghana na say, let us occupy Jubilee House, occupy Flagstaff House. Esankuma ne yirini. This is Esankuma's wife. EcoBank Kenya appoint Josephine Anan Ankuma as new managing director. Ekufuado ba power ni moving straight. Kwasia, what was Esankuma is fighting for you? Esankuma yirini. This was a purely political influenced appointment. Time na ma so we nya position bia o ne yire nya bibia omo yededa na omo pamo NDC e na omo de omo yire nom Esankuma yire nie na you say Esankuma we Xp0ses Saturday wa betena his file aka say kufu ade aba we akromfo na ne yire ye pamo ne. That is what we tell you. These are dirty people. They don't care about you. Mono, they be a kind of correction, and you allow these fools to lie to you every single day. Mr. S. This woman is in the Japadia book. Do you know that? A Japadia book, no. Omuka say a Juma Esankuma ya momo, ebie edien, occupy Flagstaff House, occupy Jubilee House, and no, they will make sure Esankuma yire no to a very important role in the banking sector. Send ebeya ebeboa, they can actually enter EcoBank. Inti Ejapadia book no Mr. S can pull when we find a particular page no we will circulate for you to see. Inti Esankuma mu nyina no moka agenda no ho. Ejapadia agenda no. Thank you Mr. S, thank you team. My team just brought the part where Esankuma's wife is mentioned in Ejapadia book. My read it and chiro. Ote Ghana na go for that damo and I'm from some with Jimmy because some of you people you tubu for amonte. This is the Ejapadia book. My chiro. Esankuma yere part ni entwaso. This is the Esankuma wife part no. Eya de Ejapadia book no page 6. Yan kan na menchechire mu nchiro EcoBank. Esankuma way. EcoBank. We have two routes of entry into this institution. First is through SNIT, which has a seat on the board of EcoBank Ghana by virtue of its shareholding. The seat is occupied by the Director General of SNIT. In phase 2 of our agenda, Kofi Bosompim Osafomafo, who is a Deputy Director General of SNIT, should be made the DG, that's the Director General, to give him the seat on the EcoBank Ghana board. Secondly, the wife of Esankuma is the group head of commercial banking and a member of the executive management of the EcoBank Group. Our intelligence is that both the role of the group CEO and managing director of EcoBank Ghana will become vacant in the next 2 to 3 years. Nana has been advised to use all diplomatic avenues to support Esankuma's wife to fill one of these impending vacancies. Afiwohu, Ejapadia page 6 is Ananankuma ne yiri din sheho. In Tuba says Esankuma sorry back just a Kufuado abanenye. They were on the silent, they had signed agreement to the Kufuado move. So all the things they were doing, they were destroying the NDC. They no more come. They didn't care. They wanted to come in.